Have we ever pondered about the complexities of the ongoing conflict between Gaza and Israel? Let's delve into the recent events that unfolded in the past week. At the heart of the matter are the clashes between Israeli security forces and Palestinians at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, known to Jews as the Temple Mount. This highly sensitive area has been a flashpoint for violence, with tensions escalating due to recent deadly attacks on Israelis and Israeli army killings of Palestinians in the West Bank. Just last year, similar confrontations led to a war between Israel and Palestinian militants in Gaza, resulting in a tragic loss of life. The atmosphere in Jerusalem remains tense, with fears of a renewed Israeli-Palestinian conflict looming large. Palestinian leaders have warned of possible escalation, while the Israeli Prime Minister has stated that authorities are prepared for any scenario. These escalating tensions continue to threaten the peace and stability of the region. The political landscape in Israel is as complex and indecisive as the conflict itself. The nation is caught in a political stalemate, with Yair Lapid, a prominent political figure, struggling to form a stable government. His optimism about ousting the then Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was dashed when the conflict between Israel and Hamas militants escalated. This crisis led to a significant setback as Naftali Bennett, leader of the right-wing party Yamina, withdrew from the crucial negotiations. This withdrawal left Lapid's bloc short of the required numbers to establish a government. Consequently, the mandate may be sent to the Israeli parliament, and if no government is formed, Israel could potentially face its fifth election since 2019. In the face of this, the Israeli public opinion remains largely unswayed by the recent conflict, suggesting an entrenched division within the society. Israel's political stalemate remains unmoved, even amidst the conflict with Hamas. In the midst of the ongoing conflict and political deadlock, a glimmer of hope emerges in the form of a gas pipeline to Gaza. This proposed pipeline, a beacon of potential progress, would transport natural gas from the Leviathan field in the eastern Mediterranean straight to the heart of Gaza. This is not merely a pipeline of steel and gas, but a conduit of a reliable energy source that could end the rolling blackouts plaguing this region. The potential for this pipeline extends beyond just providing light in the darkness. It carries the promise of economic growth, a prospect that Gaza has been yearning for. The pipeline bears the financial commitment of both Qatar and the European Union, who have stepped forward to fund the Israeli and Gazan sections respectively. However, it's important to remember that this pipeline, while promising, is not a panacea for all of Gaza's woes. Yes, it could potentially double or even quadruple the power station's generation capacity, breathing life into the economy. But the pipeline's future is as vulnerable as the region it traverses, often subject to the whims of political tensions. While this pipeline promises a lifeline to Gaza, it's not expected to solve all of Gaza's economic problems. The past week has seen a series of events that have further complicated the situation between Gaza and Israel. We've observed escalating tensions and clashes in Jerusalem, particularly around the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, a highly sensitive area in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The unrest has been fueled by a combination of factors, including recent attacks and the ongoing Israeli occupation. These incidents have raised fears of a wider conflict, reminiscent of last year's war, which resulted in significant casualties on both sides. In the midst of these tensions, Israel's political landscape remains in a state of flux. Efforts to form a new government to replace Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's administration have been hindered by the recent conflict with Hamas. The withdrawal of right-wing party Yamina from the negotiations has left the opposition bloc short of the numbers needed to establish a new government, leading to a political stalemate. If this impasse continues, it could lead to a fifth election since 2019, further complicating the tumultuous political scenario in Israel. On a more positive note, there are talks of a gas pipeline that could provide a lifeline to the Gaza Strip. The proposed pipeline would transport natural gas from the Leviathan field in the eastern Mediterranean to Gaza, ending rolling blackouts and contributing to economic growth. Funded by the European Union and Qatar, the pipeline could double or even quadruple Gaza's power generation capacity and add over $1 billion to the Palestinian GDP. However, It's important to note that the pipeline project is not a panacea for Gaza's economic challenges and remains vulnerable to political tensions. Despite these hurdles, it represents a tangible step towards improving the quality of life in Gaza and could serve as a foundation for future cooperation. As we continue to monitor these developments, one can only hope for a peaceful resolution to this long-standing conflict.